What a night for the Super Eagles. Nigeria finally reminded the world of who they truly are. Football powerhouse and filled with pace, power and passion. After a difficult qualifying campaign filled with doubts, draw points with endless criticisms, the Super Eagles showed themselves in style, destroying Benin Republic by 4-0 in that very interesting and intriguing game that took place at we talk about the Gospel of Pabio Stadium in Uyo. In today's video, we break down the top 5 teams we learned from the stunning performance with the real facts from the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Let's go straight into business. Number 1, Victor Osimhen remains Nigeria's undisputed leader and match winner. When the pressure is highest, the big names must deliver, and once again Victor Osimhen showed why he is Africa's number 1 striker. Against Benin, Osimhen was simply unstoppable, netting a brilliant hat-trick that left the Cheetahs of Benin chasing shadows. He played with hunger, confidence, authority, the kind of presence that lifts up the entire team. His goal didn't seal the win. It reminded everyone that Osimhen is the heartbeat of his Super Falcons, the Super Eagles team. He now moves closer to top the Nigerians' all-time scoring chart and continues to be the most consistent performer in the qualifiers. Even when Nigeria struggled earlier games drawing against Lesotho, South Africa, Osimhen was often the one creating the danger, forcing defenders to make mistakes and keeping the hope alive. Let's state the fact: Osimhen has now scored 8 goals in 2026 World Cup qualifiers, the most by any Nigerian player so far. The lesson remains: when Osimhen is on fire, Nigeria is unstoppable. The games Osimhen missed, Nigeria dropped points for most of those games. Number 2 will be the defensive discipline. Finally returned after a long-awaited clean sheet. For months, fans had one major complaint: Nigeria couldn't defend properly. The Super Eagles were conceding soft goals from Lesotho to Zimbabwe. Many can remember the late goal in Uyo against Zimbabwe. But against Benin Republic, it was different. The back line looked organized, confident, and showed themselves well, from the likes of Kelvin Bass to Semi Ajayi to the young Benjamin Frederick were all at their best. For the first time in the qualifiers, Nigeria not only dominated the attack but kept a clean sheet, showing the balance that yes, this team is good and they can make the best out of it. You could say a better communication, sharper pressing, and calm ball distribution from the back. It wasn't just a win, it was a defensive statement. This was Nigeria's first clean sheet in the last 4 World Cup qualifying matches. A solid defense win that made sure that the Super Eagles had 4 goals in the net of the Benin Republic team. Let's talk about the tactical play, where we would agree that the core Eric Schell came out with the best tactical play. His combination was very beautiful, having play Alex Wobi and Wilfred in the midfield, Moses Simon and Chukwueze playing at the flank. He had Akko playing very close to Victor Osimhen, and this looked more modern, and we could see the fact that the Super Eagles were able to get 62% possession and they completed 450 passes against Benin, which shows something very good, that the Super Eagles really meant business yesterday. So great one for them. I think the tactical formation would all praise the coach Eric Schell for that brilliant one. And number 4, the win revived Nigerians' World Cup hopes, but there's still work to be done. Now, at the press briefing, Eric Schell believed that the journey is still tough. Still have a tough journey after defeating Benin by 4-0. The fact that you still have to play the playoffs against Gabon and everything, many believe it to be a very difficult one for the Super Eagles. Super Eagles didn't get the automatic ticket after South Africa topped the group, defeating Rwanda by 3-0. But however, the playoff route is still there, and the Super Eagles will play against Gabon. Now, for many Nigerians now believe in the Super Eagles after watching that particular game yesterday, and I believe, okay, Super Eagles can really make the difference. Now, the 5th thing we learned, that this should just be the standard, that the Super Eagles should play every game like this. Now, many will agree that this is the best they have seen the Super Eagles play in a very long time. The consistency from the boys, the passes were good, they were ruthless, they played, the passes. I think the passes was what was really interesting. And many believe that this should be the tempo we should play every game. Every game should be played like a final. If the Super Eagles would have played all their games like this from the beginning, the Super Eagles would have qualified for the World Cup by now. But they were a bit sloppy in the other games. So every game going forward should be played in this same format. So 5 things we learned from Nigerians 4-0 demolition against Benin Republic, Osimhen's leadership and his hat-trick performance, the long-awaited clean sheet and defensive composure. And we'll talk about the coach himself, Eric Schell, and his brilliant setup, and the World Cup hopes still alive. And the new standard of performance have made many Nigerians to believe in the Super Eagles again. It was a victory that resolved pride, belief, the momentum, but beyond the celebration, it's also a reminder that this is the level Nigeria must sustain if they want to be in the North Africa in the 2026 World Cup. The Super Eagles are back, but can we stay this consistent? This will be the big question. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn up your notification so you can never miss anything around the Super Eagles update. And tell us in the comments what impressed you most about Nigerians' win against Benin Republic, Osimhen's goals, the clean sheet, or the team's chemistry, which impressed you most.